What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be unboxing the SMO360. This is the 360 cam that goes into our Pavo 360. We're going to be installing it into the drone, getting everything set up, and we'll get some flight footage and we'll just go over my overall thoughts on this entire setup. So my last video was basically just on the drone alone and how to set it up, how to get a receiver installed, and just basically get this drone ready for flight. If you're interested in seeing that, I'll leave a link right up here, and I'll also leave a link down in the description. So when you open up the box, you have the SMO360 right here. Underneath, you're gonna have an instruction manual and some extra power cables, so you can connect this to another FPV drone. There are no other drones right now that hold this camera quite like the Pavo 360 does, but these cables make it so that you can at least connect this to another drone. So you got two of the same cable, one's shorter than the other. And then we have our instruction manual. So here's the camera. I have taken this out of the box and I did put lens protectors on here. I would highly recommend getting some of these. You can currently get these on race day quads for I think $9, maybe even cheaper, but I would highly recommend getting these, because if you're flying and the landing gear doesn't deploy and you land on the lens, there is no easy way to replace that lens. So I think it's much easier to replace one of these lens guards than the lens itself. So for $9, definitely get some of those. I'm keeping the plastic on the outside just to protect the lens guard too, but obviously when I'm flying I'm going to take that off. So this is what the camera looks like. When it sits in the drone, this side is going to be up, and I know that because the record and power buttons are on this side. The micro SD goes right in here above the power connector. The memory card that I'm using is going to be one of these SanDisk Extreme 128 gigabyte V30 memory cards. This is the memory card that I use in all my GoPros, and it's going to be perfect for this because it has a very fast write speed and it'll let me record in the highest resolution possible. All right, so let's install this into the drone. Remove these 4 screws around the edges. And now this plate comes off. And now the camera, like I said, these buttons are gonna face up, so the camera is gonna go right like that. Before you install the camera into the drone, make sure you put your memory card in, because you can't access this easily once it's in the drone. In order to remove the memory card, you do have to remove the camera. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but what are you gonna do? There we go. So now let's install this into the drone. So the power cable is on this side of the drone. So we'll plug that in first. It's a lot easier to plug it in before you put the camera into the drone, and then just kind of push the cable over onto the side right here, and now you can rotate the camera so that it just slides in. Make sure it's not pinching any cables or anything, and then push it down. You do kind of have to give it a little bit of force, and you'll be able to tell once it's fully down. There's a little lip on the camera that just needs to be level with the frame. You basically need to just be able to put this plate back on. So this plate secures it, so it goes over it right like that. Now all I'm gonna do is just put these 4 screws back in. There we go, we got the camera installed. So now all that's left is plug some batteries in. We'll take it for a little test flight. All right, so final thoughts on this drone. This thing is sick. The FPV drones in general are fun. This 360 camera in the middle of a Cinewhoop pushes it to a completely new level. So I'm very excited to see what I can film with this. So a couple things I want to mention. Definitely get these lens guards. I flew once and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a little scratch on the lens protector. So if I didn't have that on there, it would be scratching the lens. And another thing, as far as the lenses go, make sure that you wipe these off immediately before you fly. I was concentrated on the bottom one, so the bottom half of the footage looks good, but if you go back, you can see the line around the camera, and that's actually just because I just forgot to wipe it down before I was flying. Another thing to mention, these battery trays are very tight. Getting the battery in here is kind of difficult. So I actually took some side cutters and trimmed these down a little bit, and I've been able to get the batteries in pretty easily. This is the battery that comes with it. This is an 850 3S battery. I've been using the Beta FPV ones, and I just got a whole bunch of these GNB 850s. They are the exact same size. You have to give it a little bit of force, but since I cut these, it's actually a little bit easier to get in. If I had one recommendation for Beta FPV, it would be to trim these things down a little bit. Otherwise, this drone is very, very cool. So all in all, honestly, this is an awesome setup. The footage that I'm going to get with this, I'm very excited to use this on projects, and you'll definitely be seeing a lot more from this drone. If you enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful, or you like the footage, make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.